All right, a couple tips that we're going to give you for painting in your own garage. Now, keep in mind when I say this is not for the guys with the $1 million paint boots, okay? These are for the guys that are painting in, not necessarily a great environment without necessarily the top of the line, pieces of equipment to use. But I'm going to give you some tips. If you're ever out there painting or you've painted in your garage before and you got fish eyes, a lot of times it's not fish eyes. A lot of times if you look really, really close at that fish eye, it's got a point in the dead center of it. It like comes up like a peak of a mountain kind of. At first you think it's a fish eye. What it is water. All right, now obviously water in your airlines is a huge problem. But what you can do is you put a little lacquer thinner in your gun, and then you grab your air hose. Grab that tip of that air hose, and you squirt, hook up air to the air gun. You squirt, in your air hose, let's say a cup of, lacquer thinner. When you put that in the air hose, then you're going to hook it up to your air source, and you're going to take a blowgun, and you're going to blow out that air hose, and you're going to get rid of all the moisture. You're going to get rid of all the lacquer thinner in there. And you take that blowgun and you blow out as hard as you can to where the tip, you'll see it's like frosted coming out the tip of that blowgun. You blow until that frosted look of that air coming out is completely 100% gone. And also designate an air hose just for painting. Now, how do you keep water out affordable? Listen, there are all kinds of air water separators that you could buy on Amazon, and I get it, and they work, and don't get me wrong. I have an air water separator on my air compressor, and then also what I do is I take air hose, okay, I'm not going to take you back there and show you, but I got a nail in the wall, separated, and I got a 25-foot air hose, and I run it up and down like this inside my air compressor room. And the reason being is so water lays right there. So if it makes it past the air water separator, it lays down in there, okay? Then I use these motor guards, okay? These are fairly cheap. They got the little toilet paper type cartridges. They're really not toilet paper. You can use toilet paper, but I suggest you use it, and the second you're done, throw it away because they break down. I actually use the cartridges. The cartridges in here are about $18 a piece, and then when I'm done painting, I take these off and I let the cartridges air dry because otherwise they'll get moldy. And then I got a separate line with a drain right here, okay? This is all just basic stuff that you can do to help with water and to have good clean air. And I strongly suggest, you got these little, let me show you again. You see these little orange, these are little filters that are on your paint gun. The reason why you use those, a lot of guys don't use them, especially if you have a great paint booth, like I've said, in an air system. That's totally different. These are for the guys in their garage. We use those because sometimes you get a brand new air hose and the inside of it, even though you've blown it out with lacquer thinner, there's still crud in there. And that filters that, or you have an air hose that's getting older and it decides to break down and you didn't realize it. So that's why we use those filters. I mean, that's the best thing for them. Now, when it comes to shooting with a gun, I'm going to be honest with you, a clear gun, if you can spend the money on a clear gun, good for you, but a lot of people can't. There's a lot of good clear guns for the money, okay? And I got to tell you, if you're willing to wet sand and buff, because like the truck, I'm going to put like 4 coats, maybe 5 coats of clear on it, because I'm going to wet sand the shit out of it anyway. But the nicer the clear gun, the less wet sanding you have to do. It makes it lay out nicer. But I'm going to give you an example. You see my truck? This thing's dusty. Those of you that follow me, you've seen the videos. I painted it and blocked it 10,000 times and everything. Okay, that... My clear gun, I messed it up, bent the needle, long story. And here I am at nighttime. I only got 1 coat of clear on it. And I ended up clearing that with a Husky gun from Home Depot. Shit you not. 5 coats of clear later, and I wet sanded the shit out of it. Is it a lot more work? Oh, Lord, is it a lot of work? But you can get by if you're willing to put in the work after the paint job. the biggest thing I see is a lot of people that get paint jobs done in an environment like this. They're like, it looks so good, you don't need a wet sand and buff it. I'm here to tell you, wet sand and buff your shit. All right? Stop being lazy. I get cars coming in here all the time. These people think it's this great paint job. A wet sand piece of paper, ain't even touched it yet. It looks horrible, all right? So here's some tips that you can use. Here's the project coming along. I got 5 minutes of your time. Oh, and one other thing. Yes, I did. Not because I need it, because I got a pretty decent clear gun, but I spent the money to review it for you for the hype. The drizzle. Yes, those of you that don't know, this thing is all over TikTok. It's all over social media, Facebook and everything, talking about the drizzle. This is supposed to be some great gun for 120 bucks. Well, you know what? I'm going to try it. I'm going to let you guys know how well it lays out. Now, keep in mind, material plays a game and what you run through the gun too. But I'm going to give you an honest review of that gun when it comes time and I get done painting this. So, peace out. We'll see you soon. Now I got a lot of taping and cleaning to do to get ready for this bad boy. But man, underneath the hood, I got it looking good. I'm pretty happy. All right, today's a big day. Here it is. We're all ready to paint. Everything's taped off. And we are going to do this Garage Squad style. The floor's all wet. Everything's clean. The wash bay here is clean. Everything's spotless. And I'm finally able to paint my own truck. It's only been, I don't know, a long time. And we have the very first thing that we are going to do is we are going to spray a white sealer on it. So that's enough of that. Let's get to it. Got the sealer on. Now we're going to let that sit. Now I like to let my sealer sit for like at least an hour. Just because. Let it breathe. Let it do its thing. You're good to 4 hours, I believe, with automotive base coat sealer. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait an hour. And then, you know what? I'm mixing it up, and I'm going to try it. I'm putting my paint in the drizzle. So we're going to find out what the drizzle is so we can see if this works on my trizzle. All right? So give me an hour. We're going to base the white. Then we got to tape off for all the two-tone and everything. Whew, this is a big project. So for one guy, hang in there. See ya. I'm coming around real soon to be able to show you guys the red, because that's when it's going to pop. So next, white base. All right, I got the white sprayed. Now that the white is sprayed, I'm laying out the stripes. The thing is about laying out the stripes, guys, listen, if you're a Dodge truck enthusiast or even a square body Dodge guy, all right, you see this body line right here? I see it all the time. People two-tone their Dodge truck and they run a tape line down this body line, okay? And that's not where it goes on these Dodge trucks. It goes above the door handle, okay? Between the mirror, and then it's got to have a little bit of a weird taper, which I got to fix that right there, because you have this stripe that goes here like so, see? So when this goes on, this will be painted. Okay, this goes on here. Now, sorry about moving my phone around. So, guys, you see this a lot of times on like old trucks, okay? And you can do what you want when it's your truck. When it's your truck and you don't care and I'm going to do what I want to do, I get it. Go ahead. But if you're wanting to do something that, you know, you might be selling someday, or you're going to, you know, you're flipping it or whatever, do yourself a favor. I'm going to tell you what's the hot thing. Factory paint schemes, factory trim, factory chrome, factory aluminum trim, factory, you know, there'll be factory wheel well moldings on this. There'll be the belt moldings down the side of this thing. That's what's hot right now, okay? And it looks good. You know, do your lift, do your exhaust, tint your windows, do whatever, your wheels and whatnot. But if you're going to go through all this effort, don't half-ass your Dodge truck and put a tape line on the body line, okay, that, keep in mind, disappears. Okay, they disappear at the door, so you guys know. All right, don't do that. Now, if that's what you want to do, go ahead. Now, I will tell you, before I bought this truck and I decided to build the truck, I found one in Minnesota that was the exact color scheme that I wanted. It was red and white. It was lifted and everything. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not that guy, but the hell with it. I'm getting older. I'm going to buy this truck. It's done. I'm going to move on. I'm going to go buy it, drive it home. Make it the way I want it from there. You want to know why I didn't go just bring cash and buy that truck? I shit you not. Because he had it red and white and he put the stripe right here. This is what he did. So he only did from here to the body line down the center. Bruh. It's not a Chevy, okay? So because of that alone, I didn't buy the truck. So if you're flipping these trucks, please keep this in mind. These are important things and someone that's built everything custom. I built 70 custom motorcycles, and I couldn't tell you how many cars and trucks. If you're going to be flipping stuff or you know you're not keeping it, do yourself a favor. Less is more, because what you may be in love with, the next guy isn't. So keep that in mind. So now we're going to move on. We're going to get this. I got to fix some of this on here. Then we got to tape all this up, and then we're going to shoot the red. It's all taped off, and it's going to work out pretty good. I did a nice square tape off here because the bed comes up to here, and the pinstripe goes past here, and then also here with there's a big rubber molding that goes down this here, okay? What I also did is I raised the pinstripe up off that body line, if you'll notice. The reason being is when that molding goes on there, if you don't have it right, it's going to look like that. I see people do that all the time, and that's just something I thought that we're going to fix. But now the fun part. You guys like my apparatus? It's dangerous as hell. That's how I get up there to paint this giant roof, okay? And milk crates and everything else. And then back here, I bolted a 2x12 back here. Yeah, how do you like that, huh? Okay, here's the red. There is, 3 solid good coats of this red. I really like this red. This is actually 1993 Dodge red, not 92. Believe it or not, they are different. This one's a little brighter. Oh, here's the moment. Here it is. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Look at that. You guys can use your imagination, huh? Whoo! Oh yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to clear this bad boy. Definitely turned out beautiful. I love the color. I mean, I can't go wrong. This thing here turned out awesome. I'm very happy. Oh, and the drizzle. Yes, the drizzle. I gotta tell you, go buy one. Just go buy one. Oh, and one other thing I went and picked up too. I got one of these. Look at this thing. Look at that. Clips on the front of your paint gun. Man, I'll tell you what, when you're painting some of the stuff, you're worried if you got enough paint on. This right here, for I think it was $40. Well worth it. Go buy one. So between the drizzle, which I've just now seen for $100, and this for $140, you can have yourself a pretty badass setup. And of course, we want to thank my buddies over here at basecoats.com. Oh my God, I'm so happy. I can't wait to start clearing it. Right now, I'm going to rip all the tape and paper off because, well, anyone that's ever painted before, that's the best part. So I got to get to it. Guys, we jumped the gun here a little bit. I didn't film before I was clearing because it's just so difficult to try to do this film, get all this out there to you guys. So here it is. All cleared. I gotta tell you, the drizzle is definitely looking good on my trizzle, okay? Honest to God, listen to me when I tell you. For those of you out there that are the novice, that's why I did this. I thought, you know what? I'm gonna buy this gun. I'm gonna try some things, and we're gonna see what's affordable for you. That was the idea. I gotta tell you, I'm pretty happy with it. Now keep in mind, I got 4 coats of clear on this. And always remember, when you start putting on that many coats of clear, it's a little less likely to lay out like glass. You're going to have to do some wet sand and buffing, which is what I plan on doing anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But I got to tell you, the drizzle was worth it. Now, hear me out. Also, I also pointed out in here earlier, this light that, you know, clamps onto the front of the gun. Man, I'm glad I got it. I mean, it's something that you definitely got to have. I mean, especially if you're painting in this confined area, the lighting ain't the greatest, everything's not perfect. I mean, so I want you to understand. So now I just seen you get that paint gun for $100. You could buy that light on Amazon or Harbor Freight. Spectrum, I think, makes it for $40. For $140, you can't go wrong. What a giant difference that light made. Now, is the drizzle as good as a $1,500 clear gun? Probably not. But I will tell you this. If I was going to spend $500-$600 on a clear gun, I wouldn't. I'd buy the drizzle, and then I'd take that extra money, I'd take that extra $500, and I'd put it toward better, you know, chemicals like we did here. I'd put it toward maybe a higher grade primer when you're doing your body work, because primer is very important. People don't realize that. Maybe I'd put it toward, you know, some other things I need for the project for the truck itself. Regardless, I would not spend $500-$600 on a clear gun. By no means for what I'm painting and what I'm doing here. I would have just bought the drizzle, the D1, moved on, painted it. I'm very happy. Big shout out to my buddies at basecoats.com. I mean, honestly, I love the color. The color laid out really good. The clear, I'm very happy with all of it. Guys, I mean, it's affordable. So if you guys are painting and you got a project coming, reach out to those guys. You know, I would put a link, okay? But the problem when you do links on videos now, it completely destroys traction for visibility. So just go out, Google is your friend, and go to my buddies, automotivebasecoats.com, okay? Get a hold of them, and they'll be able to hook you up with everything you need. I'm extremely happy. The truck turned out great. So we'll have more of an update as we keep going here before we wet sand and buff. So lots of wet sanding and buffing, and it's going to be awesome. I got the vinyl sticker here. I got the trim that goes down here. I can't wait. I mean, the rockers are perfect. I mean, they look good, but I think I'm going to do that rock guard on the bottom. I know a lot of guys with lifted trucks highly recommend it, so I might rock guard the rockers. We'll see, but we'll see you guys. Thanks for following. Long video, but also a giant project. So hope you guys learned something. See ya.